right, guys, so what the heck is a custom audience? Why does it matter to me? What am I going to do with a custom audience regarding Facebook ads? Well, I'm glad you asked. And even if you didn't, you can listen to my adorable little face talk a little bit more. So custom audiences are kind of the seed and the lifeblood of targeting on Facebook. Custom audiences are how you create lookalike audiences, which is one of the most exciting kind of revelations in marketing in recent history, in my opinion. Custom audiences are the seed audiences that you kind of do everything else with on Facebook. So those who understand custom audiences best, how you can make them, how you can make them the most powerful, how you can leverage Facebook data, how you can leverage your pixel, those are the people who are most successful on Facebook, right? And so from this screen, we can come into all tools, or we can actually just go to audiences right here. We're going to maximize the screen just so we can see it a little bit more. And from this screen, we can actually go to create audience. And right here, we go to custom audience. And now we can actually see all of the data sources, right, that we can create custom audiences from. So how do you want to create this audience? Reach people who have a relationship with your business, whether they are existing customers or people who have interacted with your business on Facebook or other platforms, right? So you can create custom audiences from any of these 5 data sources. So customer files, right? You can actually do customer files from your own library where you can, or you can import from MailChimp. You can include like a lifetime value customer calculation. But for the most part, right, we're going to actually be, why is that there? We are going to actually mainly be using like the customer file section just for emails, right? The lifetime calculation is very difficult for most businesses. And for the most part, we're just going to be mainly using the email section. And so if we wanted to add emails here, we can, download the file template, and then basically we just match up as much information as we have, right? If we have their email address, great. If we have their email and phone number, great. And they give you examples of, the exact syntax that you need to be doing these type of uploads for. And we'll go into an example later on in the course of actually uploading an email list and how to make it work. Just to be more kind of in depth for you guys, even though Facebook does make it pretty intuitive to do so. But kind of the moral of the story here, guys, is when you're creating a custom audience from your own data like this, the more data that you have, right? If you have somebody's email address, phone number, mobile, advertising ID, well, you're probably not gonna have that. But if you have their first name, their last name, their zip code, the more information you have, the more detail that Facebook can create a custom audience for you. So basically the moral of the story, guys, is the more detail, the more information you have about people, the more accurate that Facebook can create a customer file custom audience. So website traffic is probably the most used version of custom audiences. So website traffic, you can make pretty much an endless combination of stuff. So let's say, like, for example, you have a Shopify store and you want to show ads on Facebook to everyone who's visited your store but has not seen your thank you page, right? So you just want to you want to target every single person who's come to your store. Maybe they've added stuff to cart. Maybe they've read your about page. Maybe they've done everything on your website except for purchased, right? So they've never seen the thank you page. And when I say the thank you page, I mean the page that shows after someone makes a purchase, right? And so what you can do is, if you wanted to set that up, you can just come onto your custom audience area here, and you can do all website visitors, right? And you might be asking yourself, how would Facebook know that somebody's visited, all of my website, right? But when you install your Facebook pixel, and if you do it right, and we'll teach you exactly how to install your Facebook pixel on all of the different major platforms. But if you install it right, then Facebook knows if somebody is viewing any of your web pages, and it'll tell you which websites or which web pages they've actually visited. So if we say, we want to create a custom audience and show ads to people who viewed any part of our website, right? So maybe they've looked at our products, maybe they've looked at our About Me page, maybe they've looked at our contact page, maybe they've looked at our main landing page, right? And we want to do it for the maximum of 180 days, just so that we can have the largest audience possible. But we don't want to show this specific ad to people who've already purchased from us, right? And so this ad's going to be kind of for people who are already a little bit warm to us, but they haven't actually purchased from us. So what we're going to do is we're going to click exclude, and then we're going to actually exclude people who meet any of the following criteria. And now, instead of having all website visitors here, we're going to choose people who visited specific web pages, right? So we're going to exclude people people who've actually visited the thank you page. And so most of the time, I label my final page as thank you. But for example, this is our opt-in page, and then this is our thank you page. And so if we want to, this is ClickFunnels, by the way. We're going to talk super in depth about ClickFunnels. It's an amazing piece of software. I'm going to teach you guys how to use it, and I'm going to teach you how ClickFunnels, helped make me more money than pretty much anything else I've ever come across in my life. And so we can actually just go to the thank you page here in ClickFunnels. Again, here we have this entrepreneurship cheat sheet, which I do have thank you in the URL here. But if we want to be, super specific, we can just copy and paste this actual exact URL, and then we can do URL equals, and this is the thank you page. So now, and we're going to set this one to 182. So now this custom audience is only going to target people who've been to my website, but they've never purchased. So this is going to be, we can make a custom audience only of people who've purchased to offer them like a discount and things like that. We're going to talk about super kind of advanced ways to set up custom audiences that just convert like crazy. But, this is just a kind of a basic custom audience of people who visited our website, but they have not yet purchased from us. And we know they haven't purchased from us because they've never seen the thank you page URL. And the pixel tells us that. So we're excluding people who have visited specific pages, the thank you page. So we're excluding anyone who's seen the thank you page. We're excluding anyone who we know has purchased from us. And we could just call this one, came to our website but didn't purchase, right? And we'd probably name it something a little bit better than that. But I like to just name my custom audiences things where I can, quickly, choose these audiences when I'm creating, my campaigns. So that is website traffic. We can do a lot of stuff with website traffic. We can do all website visitors. We can do people who visited specific pages. We can do visitors by time spent, right? Visitors by time spent is absolutely incredible because this means that, people who spend the most time on our website are by far more likely to actually convert and purchase or, give us their email or whatever we're trying to do. So making a custom audience of people by time spent, in the top 5%, in the top 10%, in the top 25%, these people are significantly more likely to actually be our buyers. And so that's another great custom audience that I like to use. App activity, we're not going to talk about that much because it's just not that common for the majority of people. But if you do have an app and you want to talk about that specifically, make sure to just tag me in the private group, and I'd love to talk about that with you because I've done some work for app developers and I've had an iOS app in my past as well. Offline activity, again, is not particularly common for our uses. Most of the time, we're going to have online businesses. But if you do have an in-store business, still, this is not like one of the best ways to do it. I've never seen significant results from the offline activity custom audience. Generally, when we're using offline conversions, we're going to do that in a different way, which we're going to go over. So don't worry too much about app activity or offline activity. Again, if you do have an app and you want to talk about that specifically, make sure to just tag me in the private group, and I'd be happy to talk about that. Engagement is a super, super exciting one. So if we want to create a custom audience, right? Think of a custom audience as just a specific group of people we want to show an ad to based off of some action they take. So an engagement custom audience basically means that they've done something related to our stuff on Facebook, right? And that's the super scientific technical term, right? But these are super, super powerful, right? And so if we want to create like a video engagement custom audience, for example, so let's say that we launched a video ad of our beautiful corgis, in slow motion with their ears flopping, like going through a beautiful meadow or something like that. And we're showing it to people who are interested in, Welsh corgis and who shop at PetSmart and who, have all of these other interests that we deem kind of more likely for them to make a purchase, and we show them this video. What we can do here is we can choose a specific video ad, and we can target people who've watched a specific percentage of it. And that is so powerful, guys, because people who watch 50% or more of your video are literally like 100 times more likely to be interested in what you have to do, what you have to say, and what you have to sell, right? And video views are an incredibly affordable, economical way to kind of gauge interest of a cold audience. a lot of people make a huge mistake when they're targeting cold audiences. They'll target them with conversion campaigns or traffic campaigns, which is a huge waste of money because, just like any other form of advertising, think about a billboard, right? If you have a billboard up on the street and there's like 1 million people passing it on the freeway, 90% of the people are not going to be interested in that billboard, but 10% of them are. So you're paying for 90% of waste. Right? With Facebook ads, if you're an expert marketer, you're still, even if you're targeting people in the best way you possibly can, you're still going to have some certain percentage of wasted ad spend, right? You're going to inevitably show your ad to somebody who's not particularly interested in. So if you're using a traffic campaign, which we're going to talk about, or a conversion campaign, again, which we're going to talk about, those are more expensive marketing objectives. But people who use video view campaigns because it's so cheap, it's like $0.01 per video view or something like that, and then they create custom audiences of people who watch 25% or more of the video, 50% or more of the video, then you know that they're interested in what you have to say. And that is one of the tricks that we're going to talk about that's going to save you guys money and that's going to completely destroy it for you guys from Facebook advertising. And you see that I'm getting super pumped up because I think you're watching this right now and you're understanding how beautiful and how powerful this really is. So this is an amazing one, video views. You can create a custom audience from lead form. And so what a lead form is you can make offer forms, for example. So if you want to collect emails, for example, and you don't want to go and set up your own website or set up your own landing page or things like that, Facebook actually allows you to create forms inside of Facebook or Instagram and collect people's information, whether it's their emails or their names or their phone numbers, for example, and you wanted to follow up via call. Lead forms are an incredible resource that we're going to talk about as a marketing objective. What Facebook allows you to do from the custom audience perspective is you can create a custom audience of people who have interacted with your lead form. And so what that means is if somebody has opened your lead form or they started to fill it out or they did fill it out, then you can retarget them and show them an additional ad based on that activity with your lead form. Full screen experience we're not going to talk about a lot because I think Canvas ads, while they are interesting, they're just too difficult to kind of implement and use without enough results that I've seen. So we're not going to talk a huge amount about Canvas ads, but again, if you guys are interested specifically in that, tag me in the private group and I'd be happy to talk about it. Facebook pages, this is a great one, obviously, right? So people who have interacted with your page, people who have visited your page, and this is your actual Facebook page that you created. So once you create a Facebook page and people are, sending you messages from your ads, or people are reacting to your content, or people are searching for you and they're interested in you, then you can create custom audiences specifically of people who've taken actions with your Facebook page. Anyone who's visited your page, people who've engaged with any post or ad, people who clicked on any call to action button, people who sent a message to your page, right? This is a great one. People who saved your page or any post. So I like to do people who sent a message to your page in the last 365 days and literally just make a custom audience of that. How can you prove without a shadow of a doubt better that someone's interested in what you have to say than if they choose to send your page a message, right? That's incredibly powerful. And the more people who send a message to your page, the more accurate and the larger your custom audience gets. And then we're going to talk about lookalike audiences very soon, which is the most exciting part of Facebook ads. If you can get custom audiences and lookalike audiences down and nothing else that I talk about the rest of the course, you're still probably going to make a ton of money on Facebook if you can understand just those 2 points. But that doesn't mean don't pay attention because I'm gonna tell you guys a lot of good stuff. So that's the Facebook page. Again, super powerful. Instagram business profile is great. So if you set up, for example, an Instagram business profile, anyone who's visited your business profile, anybody who's engaged with a post or ad, anybody who sent a message to your Instagram business profile. And business profile just means it's super easy, it's free. If you have an Instagram and you want to change it to a business profile, it's easy to do though. It's easy to do that. And I recommend you should do it because it allows you additional insights as to your demographics and things like that. And so we're going to talk in depth in the bonus about Instagram advertising and how to take advantage of it. And then again, people who have interacted with your events on Facebook. So this is like if you have like a grand opening for your restaurant, or you're doing like an event at a local bar or club. People who have actually interacted with your event page, right? So I might say on December 31st, we're having a huge New Year's Eve event, and I'd make that event page, and people who are showing interest in the page, who are commenting on it, who are they're sharing it and things like that, I can make a custom audience and say, and create an ad, for example, that says, hey, like I noticed that you were interested in our New Year's Eve event. Call us right now to reserve a table and we'll give you a free bottle of Grey Goose, right? So those are super, super powerful ads that I've seen really, really work for people. And so those are all of the different ways that you can create custom audiences. And there's basically infinite permutations of how to make this work, guys. And that was just a very, very, well, I wouldn't say basic, but that was a verbose little introduction to all of the beautiful ways. And we're going to talk about some super, super advanced ways to make these work to the point where it's absolutely going to destroy it and make you guys so much money. It's going to be ridiculous. And you can see that I get super excited because custom audiences are so incredibly powerful and so exciting, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that little introduction to custom audiences, how to make them into beautiful forms of marketing where we're creating super, super targeted audiences of people who are guaranteed going to be interested in what we have to advertise them. So let's get to the next one.